A few years ago, a friend told me a hilarious yet profound incident in his life. He was on a road trip when his GPS suddenly rerouted him through a creepy, deserted road. His phone signal dropped because it was too interior, and his gas light flickered on. And to make matters worse, he saw an abandoned house straight out of a horror movie. That's it. He thought, this is how I die. Just as panic set in, he spotted a small gas station, barely lit, but open. Relieved, he pulled in, refueled, got his directions back, and drove to safety. A little small funny incident. How funny we can feel in unfamiliar places, right? But let's be real. It's not just about road trips. Life often feels like that too. We lose control, we end up in some dark places, and sometimes we get stuck there. Yes, enter today's gospel. Jesus meets a man trapped in one of the darkest places imaginable. Sound familiar? We all have our chains, don't we? Maybe it's our phones, our insecurities, our past mistakes. Maybe it is fear, anger, addiction, guilt, or comparison. Maybe it is the voice in our head that says, you are not enough, or you will never change. That's where today's gospel comes in. The gospel today tells the bizarre yet powerful story of a man possessed by a legion of demons. He is living in a graveyard, breaking chains, howling at night, essentially the town's horror story. The townspeople have tried to chain him up, but he keeps breaking free. He is a walking symbol of brokenness, isolation, and despair. And yet, when Jesus shows up, everything changes. And here is the first thing I love about this story. Jesus doesn't avoid the guy. He doesn't cross to the other side of the road like some of us might. He goes straight to him. Why? Because Jesus isn't afraid of our mess. He's not intimidated by our chains. In fact, he is drawn to them. He sees the person behind the pain, the child of God behind the chaos. Now let us talk about the demons. They beg him not to destroy them, but to send them into a herd of pigs instead. And what happens? The pig rush into the sea and drown. I have always wondered what the pig farmers thought about this. Imagine explaining that to your boss. Yeah, Jesus showed up and now the entire investment is at the bottom of the lake. RIP all the good bacons. Yeah. But here is the point. Jesus doesn't manage the demons. He destroys them. He doesn't just tidy up our lives. He transforms them completely. When the townspeople come running, they find the man sitting there, clothed and in his right mind. The same guy who was once a danger to himself and others is now calm, restored, and whole. But here is the kicker. The townspeople, they are not thrilled. In fact, they are afraid. They ask Jesus to leave. Why? Because change is scary. It is easier to live with the familiar brokenness than to embrace the unfamiliar freedom Jesus offers. And that's where we come in. What are the chains in your life, in my life? Maybe it's an addiction, a toxic relationship, a voice in your head that tells you you are not enough. Whatever it is, Jesus is standing in front of you now saying, let me break those chains. Let me set you free. Remember, no chain is too strong, no mess is too big, and no person too far gone for Jesus. He is in the business of setting people free. people free, and that includes you and me.